All right, welcome back to our first preseason film review. Today we're talking Bears rookie Austin Booker and his performance in a Hall of Fame game. Got a great set of cut-ups here to highlight Booker's performance and his potential for this Bears defense. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us a comment with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up with a pass rush situation. There is Booker right there on the right side of your screen. He's lined up on the outside side of the tight end right there. The tight end is just going to vertical release. So it's going to be essentially a one-on-one pass protection with the left tackle. It's the first preseason game, so it's pretty vanilla pass rush and pass protection across the board here. One-on-one here on the backside as well. Look, let's watch Booker. He shows off a lot of his flashes, a lot of his physical gifts. One of the reasons the Bears are really excited. He's got great speed, good get off, then works into the tackle and shows his explosiveness and his hands. Let's check out how this play goes. All right, there's a snap. Tight end goes vertical. Watch what Booker does. He gets vertical first and then attacks the tackle, drives him back, ends up being part of the pile that attacks the quarterback, right? Now, he doesn't get credit for the sack because I believe it's 52 or 93, excuse me, gets the strip right before he gets there. But if 93 didn't get there, Booker would have. Look at this rep by him. Look at his hand. See how he takes his left hand and shoves it into the tackle's chest and then forces that tackle upfield and works through him? That is phenomenal. That is classic speed to power. Work vertical, get into his chest, get to the quarterback. That is a great pass rush move here by Booker. And this is a guy who obviously didn't play a lot in college, only became a star late in his career, but it's moves like this that make me really excited. This can translate from the preseason to the regular season very well. Again, watch how he attacks vertically, threatens the tackle, and then gets into his chest, works through, and hits the quarterback. Great rep here from Booker.
Yeah, Nick. And when we see Booker, we see the rush here, we see what he's able to do. I think this is great. It's early, obviously, first preseason game, first like actual football snaps against a different team of his career in the NFL. But he's doing some good things, and we mentioned the pass rush here. Early on, PFF, this first grade against the Bears, a 73.6 pass rush grade. We're already seeing what he's able to bring to the table as far as this goes. I think this is a great sign early on for the Bears.
All right, there's Booker right there. He's on the right side of your screen. He's lined up at what we call a 5 technique on the outside shoulder of the tackle, even though he's a little wider than a natural 5 here, but we're going to call that a 5 technique. If he would be a head up, we'd call that a 4-eye kind of technique, but he's on the outside, meaning his responsibility in this situation is most likely outside contained. He's got to make sure nothing gets around him before he works into a potential pass rush move. And I want you guys to watch Booker here in this situation. This shows a lot of real smarts. So the Texans are going to bring a receiver in motion like here, like it's going to be like a speed sweep. Booker's got to check him right here and then get into a pass rush move here, while all the while making sure the quarterback doesn't out leverage him. It takes a lot of intelligence. It takes a lot of ability to read and react, plus a lot of playmaking ability. Let's check it out. There's the motion. Booker gets up. He checks the motion, recognizes it's not a speed sweep, goes vertical into the pass rush. Right here, he gets a little too far inside. This is the one thing I don't like, right? He kind of plays too much inside at times, but he's got great speed to get vertical, lifts up his hands, helps force an incomplete pass down the field, right? Right here, he's a little too much inside. If this was a more mobile quarterback, he obviously could escape. But in terms of recognizing what's going on, showing smart and savvy, again, checking the speed sweep, making sure it's not a handoff, then working to a pass rush, hands up, no late hit, smart play, good rep, right? All around, good job for a young player. In terms of timing and space, it's obviously going to be hard for your first preseason game. He's going to have to work on staying more outside here in this situation, not getting too much sucked in. But again, overall, displays his athleticism and his playmaking ability. Great job here from Booker. All right, let's take a look at it from the sideline copy. You can see right there's the motion. You can see Booker check him right there. Good job. Right there, I think he still thinks it's a handoff. I think that's why he gets sucked inside a little bit. See how he keeps running inside, because right there he thinks it's a run. Then right here, you can almost see him go like, oh crap, it's a pass. And then he gets into his pass rush mode right here. He does a good job. No late hit, raises his hands. That's all fine and good, right? And this is a good, decent enough rep. But right here, I want him to make sure he doesn't get sucked too much inside. Maintain outside contain. But all in all, Booker's showing a lot of his skill set that we like coming out of college. Really strong start to his preseason. All right, another pass rush situation. There's Booker right there once again on the right side of your screen. There he is in a 5 technique once again on the outside shoulder of the tackle. You can tell it's a pass rush, third long-ish kind of situation because of how wide this defensive tackle is. He's a wide 3 technique. Booker is obviously wide as well. But this is a play that just becomes a busted play for the offense. It becomes a bad snap here. Quarterback's just got to check it down as quick as possible. Booker doesn't even really get a chance to get into his pass rush. But watch his effort, his motor, and intensity. He gets into his pass rush, helps hawk down the play with effort and speed downfield. This is what I like to see from young players. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, ball's on the ground, kind of a busted play. Quarterback has to get it to the screen as quickly as possible. Booker can't get into his pass rush, but watch here, right here. See how far away he is? He's completely, what is that, 20 yards ish plus away from the play. Watch his effort, watch his motor, watch his fight to the football, and gets involved with the tackle. That is the kind of motor, that's the kind of energy I'm excited to see from a young player. This is how you force turnovers. This is how you recover fumbles, right? You put your foot in the ground and you run and you sprint and you go downfield and make a tackle. He's not doing the lazy kind of just sort of make it look like I'm trying, right? He's putting in the actual effort. He's throwing his body around. Look at his throw his shoulder and dive in there and try and make a play. That's what I like to see, right? It's not always going to be perfect, especially as a rookie. You're not going to win every single rep. You're not going to be a superstar right out of the gate. But if you're going to have effort, want to, intensity, that's stuff you can't coach. And that's what I really am excited about from Booker. Look at it from the sideline copy right here. Gets into the tackle. It's a screen game. Look at his effort right here. Just keeps running sprints, takes a good angle, and then throws his body in there reckless abandon. That's exactly what you want to see from a rookie. If you're coming in here, your job is to bring the energy, your job is to bring the effort, your job is to bring the heart, and that's exactly what Booker is delivering for the Bears defense. All right, going with the run defense situation now, there's Booker right there. He's lined up once again in a 5 technique on the outside shoulder of the tackle right there. And this is just going to be kind of a power concept from the Houston Texans offense. They're going to release everybody inside right there. We're going to get double teams working a backside linebacker. We're going to get back blocks here. The guard's going to pull and kick the in man out on the line of scrimmage. This tackle right here, his job is to secure this gap and then potentially work out here for Booker in this situation. And right here, if you're Booker, the way this is lined up defensively, they actually have him pinching inside right here because it's hard to see, but we're actually around the 9-yard line. So we're getting close to the end zone here. So they pinch Booker inside here to try and blow up the play this way. And it's actually a really good opportunity for Booker to create some negative penetration. But this is something he definitely needs to work on. He has the athletic ability, but he needs to clean up some of the technique. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the guard pulling. You can see the double teams inside. You can see the offensive lineman working up. You can see the tight end working up. First of all, guys, before you get to Booker, watch 59 for the Bears right here and watch this guard. This is awesome. Donk. Oh, my goodness. That's a great pull by that Texans guard right there. Great physical hit. But anyway, going back to Booker, right? Watch what he does here. He slants inside. He recognizes what's going on. Okay, right here, you have to not get washed down. You can't get pushed into the trash because in this situation, you can see right here, the Bears defensively, they've got a pile exactly where the ball is supposed to go. It's supposed to go right up the hash. That's where the running back wants to go. And right now, there's just a pile, a mass of humanity. But because Booker gets pushed too far inside right there, it allows the running back to cut behind him without having to stop or lose any momentum, right? If you're going to flash inside like this, you've got to get vertical. You're going to get in the running back's face. Even if you don't make the play, you got to make the running back come to a dead stop. So right here, you should be in his face, and this running back has to be just completely stopped, has to do a spin juke or something. By that time, your help's going to get there. You cannot get washed down and allow the running back to just cut behind you like this. This is something Booker's going to have to definitely work on, right? He certainly has the athleticism. He uses his hands well. He's got good length, but just not getting washed down, fighting through that, being tougher in the run is going to be really important for Booker.
Yeah, Nick, and coming out of college, this was somewhat of a concern for Booker. He was probably equally as good in pass rush and run defense in college, but in this first game, 46.5 run defense grade, not his best. And I think part of that is he has to learn how to use his size. He's a smaller guy, 245 pounds at 6'6", a little bit lighter as far as defensive end goes. But I think we're going to see him develop. I think he can use his speed and athleticism we've seen him display in this film review so far. So I'm looking for him to work on that run defense, as you said. And I think we're going to see some improvement from him throughout the preseason.
All right, let's go with another run defense kind of concept, kind of showing what Booker can do compared against the previous play. There he is right there on a 5 technique on this outside shoulder of the tackle right there. Once again, a little bit wider 5 technique, but we'll still call that a 5 technique. Here up front, the Texans offensive line is executing a wide zone blocking scheme. They're getting everybody working to the offensive left, the right side of your screen. They're trying to get cutoffs here on the backside, and they're trying to get movement here from this defensive line, right? They're trying to get everybody running this way and then create a seal here to have the running back cut behind. So you want, if you're the offensive line, you want these guys going this way. You want this sealed right here, and then the running back can cut behind it, right? That's the action of the offensive line up front. Now, in all actuality, in this situation, actually a play action here, and the Texans are going to work this way. But up front for the offensive defensive line, it's the same responsibilities as if it was a running play. And I want everyone to watch how Booker handles this run defense as an edge defender against the wide zone concept. He does a phenomenal job. Let's check it out. All right, you see all the offensive linemen working to their left right there. They're trying to sell zone scheme, wide zone. Watch Booker right here. So his first step inside, not great. But watch how he course corrects. See how he gets his feet parallel to the line of scrimmage, uses his hands. See his leverage on the outside shoulder of the tackle right there. That is perfect stuff. If this was a wide zone scheme, this is what's called setting the edge. This is forcing the running back to cut back into your help if this was a running play. Because in this situation right here, if you get pushed wide as defensive end, that running back can stretch it out wider and then find another cutback. Here, you set the edge, you narrow the opportunities for the running back. Running back has to cut inside into his help, right? Watch how he gets into the tackle. Again, uses his hands phenomenal, gets on the outside shoulder of the tackle with his feet parallel to the line of scrimmage while also getting penetration. This is phenomenal stuff here from Austin Booker. Now, look, it's a bootleg, right? It ends up not being his own scheme. But in terms of technique, as if it was a run, great job. Look at it from the wide copy right here. Look at penetration, good hand placement, setting the edge. This is phenomenal work. And it's something like this that got me really excited because a lot of young defenders struggle with this kind of concept. Booker does a really good job out of the gate right here. And I think that bodes well for him getting some early down playing time come regular season. All right, let's go back to a pass rush situation. There's Booker right there on the far edge, the right side of your screen. Again, it's going to be another opportunity for Booker to show off his athleticism. He's got the tight end lineup inside of him right here. The tight end's going to try and arc release here. Normally, you line up this defensive end this far wide to make it a little harder for the tight end to release. That opens up a lot of opportunities for Booker because there's obviously a lot of space here between the left tackle and him. And so this is where he gets to use his really talented speed to power move, how he works vertically, then works inside. This is a great rep here from Booker. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, works up the field, gets inside, ends up beating two offensive linemen to get in the quarterback's lap. Now, look, it's a quick throw, so he doesn't get there for the sack, but he's right on the quarterback. If he had held on to the ball longer, he would have gotten the sack. And that's what you look to see, right? Obviously, you're not going to be able to sack the quarterback every time because if he gets rid of it, you're not going to get there. But I love the fact that he's beating offensive linemen. I love his speed to power. Watch how he threatens vertically. I love how he goes vertically up the field, forces the offensive lineman. You see how the offensive lineman has to really get on his horse. And then right there, Booker uses his hands, his strength, his length to just shove that tackle up the field, then work inside. Look how he uses a swing move to dismiss his hands. Offensive lineman falls down. And then the guard here tries to deliver a blow at the last second, but he fights through that anyway and gets to the quarterback. Great pass rush rep here from Booker. And this is what I really like about this kid. His ability, his just natural instinct, speed to power. Because the ability to threaten an offensive tackle, forcing them to get depth early in their drop, that's how you win, folks. If you go straight to a bull rush, offensive linemen are cool with that because it allows them to use their size and strength. Sometimes a straight speed rush allows the offensive lineman just allow you to run you around the hump, so to speak. But here, speed to power, that's really tough for any tackle to beat, and that's a skill set that I think will translate come regular season time.
Yeah, Nick. And as we talked about with the run defense earlier, I think his size kind of hurt him on the run defense. I think it helps him here in his pass rush game and coming out of college. This was one of his things. He's so quick and athletic with that lean frame. I think this is really going to be one of his benefits, his bread and butter, so to speak, in the NFL early on until he develops his run defense. Is that speed, like you said, these speed rushes, speed to power moves, stuff like that. This is how he's going to get to the quarterback, and I think this is where we're going to start to see him shine for the Bears.
All right, this may be my favorite play that Booker showed throughout the entire preseason game. You can see him right here lined up on now the left side of your screen. It's going to be an interesting kind of concept here for the Bears defense, certainly for his preseason game. So they're going to rush these three down defensive linemen like you would expect, right? And they're actually going to bring 47 on a blitz, and they're going to have Booker way over here, right? He's going to actually take 47's assignment. So basically how it's going to work is Booker's going to take the middle of the field, which would have been 47's. This defensive lineman is going to work this way. This defensive lineman is going to work this way. 47 is going to blitz. Defensive end is going to go this way, right? So it's basically kind of an assignment switch technically between 47 and Booker right here. And this is a really tough play for anybody to make. Certainly a rookie in your first NFL appearance in a preseason game. The fact that Eberflus and company trust Booker like this and want to see him drop into coverage is a really great sign. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see 47 rush. You can see Booker drop into coverage. Watch what happens, right? You can't see him, but a slot receiver does the smart thing. He's the hot route. He sees 47 blitz. He then goes exactly where 47 was. You can see him right there. But watch Booker get depth, get vertical, get the quarterback size. Right there, this quarterback is scared to death to throw this ball because he knows he throws this slant. This is Davis Mills. He's a veteran quarterback. He knows if he throws this slant to Mechie, there's a good chance Booker deflects it up in the air and it's intercepted, right? Because right here, there's a lot of ground. It doesn't look like it looks like he's far away, but he's really not. Because if you see when Mills actually throws the football, Booker would literally be right in the line of sight between the quarterback and the receiver. This is great stuff here from Booker. Ends up being a check down play, minimal game here, for the Texans offense. And this is the versatility aspect that I don't think we were going to see from Booker early on. The ability to use him in situations like this to get in coverage to help out his defense a number of ways. There's only one reason you call this kind of play if you're Eberflus in a preseason game, and if you want to see exactly how Booker can handle it, and he does a really great job. Let's look at it from the sideline copy. You can see how much ground he covers. Fakes a rush, gets in the field right there, covers up that middle zone so quickly, right? This inside receiver, I believe that's Mechie right there. He looks like open right here, but he's really not. Booker covers him up really nicely, forces it to be like a 1 or 2 yard gain. This is an awesome rep. We know he can do speed to power. We know at times he can do well in the run game, but dropping in his zone coverage, that was not something I expected from Booker, but he showed a great job of it right here. All right, we got another pass rush situation, and there's Booker right there on the left side of your screen. This time, the Bears defense is going to run a stunt. They're going to have the defensive tackle lined up in a 2-eye technique right here. He's going to work this way, and Booker's going to take one step, a jab step this direction, and then work around here. The goal here is to try and get Booker a one-on-one situation. They're thinking most likely it's going to be with the guard, that the guard's going to have to work this way for the tackle, then go to Booker. That's a win potentially for Booker's situation. The Texans actually call a good blocking scheme to counteract it, but Booker still shows off his athleticism. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the Texans actually slide their protection to the left in this situation. That makes it a lot harder for this stunt to work here because that means there's basically the guard in this situation knows he doesn't have to react too crazy to this defensive lineman. Booker loops around and the guard's there to pick him up. But here's what I like about Booker. Like he takes his jab step, loops around, and then beats that guard, right? And gets held. This is the thing. This was a touchdown for the Texans. Folks, let me back it up just a little bit more, see if I can freeze frame it for you. That's holding. So that's hugging him. That's holding. That's a penalty. That should have been called back. And look, sometimes the refs mix it, right? Obviously, those guys aren't perfect. But this kind of athleticism, this is what I really like about Booker, is that his ability to play in space, his speed, his gifted athletic ability will draw penalties, right? Because offensive linemen will reach, they'll hold, they'll tug, and that in of itself is a weapon. This is why you bring speed and length to a defense, right? You can create situations where offensive linemen are forced to hold. That was one of those. It ends up not being called. It should have, but I think come regular season time, we're going to see Booker draw a few of these penalties. All right, got another pass rush situation for you. There's Booker right there lined up once again in a very wide 5 technique. This is a pass rush situation. You can tell by the width of this defensive lineman. He's a wide 3 technique here in this situation. And this is another example. This is a great visual of speed to power. This is Booker's classic move. It was effective all night long. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. Watch Booker get vertical and attack into the tackle's chest just like that. That's awesome stuff. Threaten him with speed and then uses his left hand, his length. Look how much this tackle is flailing here. He's like flying all over the place, flying backwards. He ends up falling down, right? This is a win for Booker. Now, he gets a little friendly fire right there. That kind of stinks, right? It's preseason. This kind of stuff tends to happen sometimes. You get bodies flying around. 67 kind of just completely just gets in Booker's way. He gets washed down inside. But this was a win for Booker, right? Against quality, working with quality interior defensive linemen come regular season time. This is going to be a win. This is going to be a chance to get a quarterback pressure. And this speed to power move, I'm going to keep hammering on this. This is translatable, right? Doing a lot of jump cuts, doing a lot of swim moves, flying around, doing stuff against preseason guys. That's not what will translate to regular season success. Speed to power, strength, length, that will. And that's what Booker is showcasing right here.
All right, again, you hit on it, and I think when you look at Booker's draft profile, we're seeing exactly what he does in these instances. He's really lining up with exactly the profile says. You look at it, it says he displays an explosive first step and excellent movement skills, which significantly enhances pass rush efficiency, quickness, timing, all those kind of things. He does really well. Second thing, primarily on this play, uses his long arms and impressive wingspan to effectively disrupt offensive lines and quarterback alike. Again, right here, you see him put his arm in the guy's chest, using that long wingspan to kind of distance himself from the offensive lineman. I think Booker is doing a great job thus far of using his strengths and trying to convert those into things that are translatable in the NFL. I think he's going to be very good very soon.
All right, we've shown a lot of positive from Booker generally. Here's a negative play. Here he is lined up there on the edge of your screen. He's lined up outside the tight end here in this situation. Call it a 7 technique. This time the Texans are going to run a speed sweep right at him in this direction. And Booker, like we saw earlier before, he gets sucked inside a little too much and gets completely out leveraged. This is what can't happen. This is a learning experience. Maybe in college you could have maybe in this situation jumped inside and then maybe jumped outside and made the play. You can't do that in the National Football League. This is a learning example from Booker of what not to do. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. It's a speed sweep. See how he got sucked inside? And just like that, it's a 9-10 yard run. No one does anything hard for the Texans offense, right? This isn't a great block, obviously. They really don't get good blocks on anybody. No one blocks a safety. Receiver does okay against the corner, right? This is one of the things that you can't do if you're a defensive end, right? Because this is essentially handing the offense an easy 8-9 yards. You cannot get sucked inside right there. You are totally and unequivocally screwed. Let's go back to that. Why are you going inside? Stay outside. You got outside contain, right? This tight end here. Even if you want to stay head up on him, you can't get inside. If you want to use your hands, hey, that's fine. Because right there, look, foot position, not terrible, right? Parallel to the line of scrimmage. You're using your hands, but your body's not in the right position. You're so out leveraged. You have got to be at bare minimum head up and getting penetration, or you've got to be outside. You can't be sucked inside right out the get go. Right here, see how he's an outside player, and then right after the snap, he becomes an inside player. You lose. Your defense loses. It is that simple. Cannot happen. And I guarantee you, Eberflus and the whole entire defensive coaching staff is going to hammer him on this. Let's look at it from the sideline copy. There he is right there. Loss. Can't happen. Can't happen. You're defensive end. You're an edge contain, right? Look at this. There is literally a corner out here on a receiver. There's a linebacker safety type here on the tight end. If you get sucked inside, this could be a touchdown if you don't have a good play here from the safety, right? See how the safety actually flies down? Does a great job right here. Corner actually fights off a block too. It's still an easy 10 yards, right? The offense doesn't really block anybody and they get 10 yards because you get sucked inside. This is what Booker cannot do. And I think you'll learn from this example, but this is something that worries me. He showed a lot of good stuff against the Houston Texans. I think he's got a bright future for the Bears, but he's got to clean this up. All right, we're going to end on a win here for Booker. There he is on the right side of your screen. Again, pass rush situation. You can see this is a really wide 3 technique, outside shoulder of the guard, and a really wide 5 technique, outside shoulder of the tackle right there. And it's just another example of speed to power. We're going to just keep hammering this home. This is going to be how Booker gets on the field in pass rush situations. Attack vertically, get into the tackle's chest. This is another great job of it right here. Let's check it out. There's a snap, vertical, into his chest, work inside, beat him. Look, the quarterback, again, gets rid of the ball. 52 gets great pressure inside. Here's the thing. While 52 wins the rep, here's the difference, right? This is why I don't like jumping inside. 52 gets the beat right here. Quarterback's outside the pocket right there. Again, that's one of those things where if this was a more mobile guy or a better quarterback, he may escape. He may run for a first down. He may throw a better football, right? You cannot jump inside. We saw it from Booker in the running game previous play. If you're an outside guy, you cannot jump inside and give the team the edge, right? This could be a disaster for the Bears defense against a quality quarterback, quality opponent. But Booker right here does exactly what will win in a pass rush situation. Speed to power. Because right here, imagine if the quarterback was in the pocket, right? In this situation, he's going to be right in this direction. Quarterback, he can't just vertically escape to the outside because Booker and the offensive tackle right there. He can't step up because Booker's walking him into his lap. It would just be a collapsing pocket right in his face. That's what wins right here. This is how you win as a defense. This is how you get pressures and sacks. And this is what Montez Sweat does really well as well, right? Speed to power. The Bears have been looking for a great pass rusher to pair opposite of Sweat. I think there's a great chance they got a guy here in Booker.